today I'm going to be giving you my completely honest advice for college. I've just left college and I feel like I've got quite a lot of knowledge of like what you should do and what you shouldn't do. This is obviously all personal experience and I'm telling you from my point of view. So my first piece of advice would be, don't go to the same college as your friends just because you want to be with them. I picked the most convenient college for me and it was literally just around the corner. I did that simply because I could get out of bed and go to college. That was a complete wrong thing to do. I ended up in a college that I hated for the 2 years I was there, and I'm glad I got through it, but I really didn't like it. I literally did it for convenience. Don't do it for convenience, or don't do it just because your friends are going there, because I can guarantee you will make new friends. They might not be your lifelong friends, but they will be good friends whilst you're there. You could make your best friend whilst you're there, so why not? My second piece of advice is to pick subjects that you really will enjoy. This is the most important part, I'd say. I picked 4 subjects that I wasn't really sure about. I didn't know if I really wanted to do them, and I did them because I thought they'd look good on my CV or when I applied to uni, but I should not have done that. Do subjects that you think you'll do well in because you enjoy them. Don't just do them because they're convenient. I've literally just got into uni, and literally only just because I picked 3 subjects that for my second year which I wasn't really sure about, and it was really difficult for me to get through them because I didn't enjoy them. The most important part is the enjoyment of them and to get you to the place that you want to be. If you pick 4 subjects that you think you're going to enjoy and you think it may lead you to your career, it doesn't have to. It doesn't all have to be relevant to your degree. As long as you've got the requirements for the degree at the university you want to go to, then you'll be absolutely fine. Don't overthink it, like that is the main thing, do not overthink it. My third piece of advice would be to keep your attendance up. Once you get in the cycle of not going in, you'll continue to do that and you'll hate going in even more if you dislike it. If you're hating it in the first 2 weeks of when you've picked your subjects, then just ask and they may swap you over. Because if you really don't think you can stay there for 2 years and do that subject, then what's the point? Because you're not going to get the grade that you need to get. You just need to be in all the time, otherwise you get yourself in the cycle of doing that and it just makes it even more difficult. So just don't do that. My fourth piece of advice, I'm not really sure if it's advice, I'd say it was maybe, but my fourth piece of advice would be, don't listen to people who say that first year isn't important, because it is. If you get 4 A's at first year, then you're not going to have to work as hard in second year to get a higher grade. Second year is much more difficult, and if you've got that higher grade, then you're set up basically. And if you get into the cycle of doing really well, and you get into the subjects even more and you find them interesting, then it should be easier for you to do well. Now, I do know that A-levels are changing this year, and I'm not 100% sure of like the process, but all I can say is try hard in your first year and don't just listen to people who say that second year is the most important, because they're both just as important as each other really. My fifth piece of advice is to stay organised. Get all your stationery ready at the start of the year. Take 1 A4 notepad, you'll be fine with that. I got 4 different A4 notepads for each subject and there was no point at all. I used one of them for the whole year and I had 4 different dividers and had each subject into each one because it was well too heavy to carry my bag around with 4 books in there. It's ridiculous. And then as for the pencil case, you'll probably need a few black pens, a few blue pens. If you want colours and highlighters, then I would suggest getting highlighters. It's good to highlight through important information like throughout your lesson, and then you can go back and read that information when you get home and take the key notes down if you've missed anything out in class. Get a ruler. A ruler's important actually. And then another important piece of stationery would be ring binder folders. So these are like the thick folders, and these are really good for keeping all your stuff organised basically. You can get the dividers, you can get the plastic wallets. That's the best way to keep everything organised, I'd say. And what I'm thinking of doing when I go to uni is taking down all my notes by hand and then getting in, writing it up on my laptop and then organising it, printing it off and putting it in a folder along with the written version, so I have 2 different versions of it. So that might be a good idea for you. I'm not sure what your style of learning is, but hopefully that's an idea, maybe, don't know. And my 6th and final piece of advice to you would be to enjoy it as much as you possibly can. Make the friends who you want to be friends with. Don't make friends just because you feel you have to make friends with them, because at the end of the day, when you finish college, you're probably not going to be friends with them. It's only 2 years, like that's not a long time at all. It's flown by for me. Since leaving school, it's gone so fast, and it'll only go faster from there, I can imagine. So I do hope these little pieces of advice have helped you out a little bit. I know I'm no professional or anything. I'm just thinking from my personal experience at college, and I hope that it does help you when you go to college. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it lets me know whether you like this type of video, and I may do some more advice videos about other things. If you have any, then drop them down below. And I make new videos every single week, so subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye!